why I'm thinking about Willy Wonka. Leader Fan Radio Network.
Purple Pride.
And KFAN.com. 2 minutes and 31 seconds past the hour of 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. Welcome back. It is a Monday edition, I'm sure a very jolly old edition of the Bumper to Bumper program on an absolutely beautiful early November day here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Have we hit 60? We're close. I think we're maybe 57 in that range.
I've got 57.
Tomorrow we're supposed to hit 60. How do you argue with this?
You can't.
It's November. It's outstanding. Guardsy produces the show. My name is Dan Barreiro, former Inkster Wretch, newspaper of the Twin Cities. And Guardsy, it's unfailing. We actually talked about it a little bit late in the week. It's indisputable. Everywhere I've gone today, everywhere, bounce in the step of anybody I see. Doesn't everything feel lighter today than it did at, 2 minutes to 12 yesterday when we knew that the Vikings approached the Detroit Lions game as almost 10-point underdogs? Everything feels better today. And that brings me back to your guy. You always were a big Willy Wonka guy, weren't you?
I love the Chocolate Factory.
How could you not?
Of course.
I never saw the remake.
Me neither.
But I have a hunch I didn't miss much.
I'm with you there.
Based on what I heard.
Yep.
That's a tough remake, man. Gene Wilder. Can you really outdo Gene Wilder?
Not really.
Can you outdo Bogey and Casablanca? I don't think so.
I always wanted one of those golden tickets. You know? How fun would that have been?
Oh, yeah.
To get a golden ticket.
Did anybody ever do that, like in real life?
Probably.
A version of that?
People do versions of it. Restaurants do versions of it. But nothing like one of the golden tickets. And you do it for sweepstakes and Super Bowl trips and things like that. But imagine being a kid and getting the golden ticket. When we got to see it, what it meant to those kids.
Beyond emotional. What's the most famous song in that particular motion picture? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, man, you'll have to remind me.
The Candyman.
Oh.
It's got to be. Now, Sammy Davis Jr. turned it into quite the hit.
Can.
The Candyman can.
We used it with Michael Candy a lot.
Well, usually we said the Candyman can't.
He couldn't.
In his case.
Right.
Or couldn't. You're exactly right. But I'm going to read you some of the lyrics to this song and tell me if I don't think I'm crazy to say that the National Football League is the Candyman. That's the purpose for so many people, this league, especially when it goes as well as it did for the Vikings on Sunday on the road, serves to everybody out there. Who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two?
KOC can.
KOC can. You know why? Because he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Who can take a rainbow, wrap it in a sigh, soak it in the sun, and make a groovy lemon pie? KOC can. Or the Candyman can. The Candyman makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious. I can't sing it. Now you talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. Oh, who can take tomorrow? Dip it in a dream. Separate the sorrow and collect up all the cream. KOC can. Oh, KOC can. KOC can because he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. It is always astonishing to me how, from a sports standpoint, if you have any connection to the sports world, whether you're a hardcore Vikings fan in this town or maybe a more casual town, how one game, one impressive performance is Candyman-like. It's pure. It's the pure sugar high that everybody down and out about the Vikings as recently as I said at 5 minutes to 12, now are basking in, don't you think?
Basking is the word.
Basking's the word.
Coupled with some other things that happened yesterday in the NFC North Division.
That's true, too.
There's a lot of basking going on.
There's a lot of basking. There should have been more. I still can't believe the Bears ended up winning that game after they tried to give it away, but that's another story for another day. And again, this isn't just about here. The National Football League is the Candyman. It offers up the possibility. Now, admittedly, there can be a sugar low if you don't get the sugar.
Right. The Oompa Loompas will come and kick you out.
Oompa Loompas will kick you out, yep. And it could get very uncomfortable, right? But if you, the sugar high of a National Football, a struggling, in this case, National Football League team, seemingly erasing everything that has come before in one afternoon, in 3 hours, is the magic of the Candyman that is the National Football League. There's just no question. And we all knew it, but today, it was magical. Whatever your favorite candy is today, for me, it'd be a Chunky. You're munching on it. You're overdosing on it. And deep down in the back of your mind, you know, there's another game to play Sunday.
Lamar Jackson's coming to town.
All we are is 4-4. What the best teams do is they do it often enough that this doesn't seem like it's the event that we're turning it into, right? But that's for later. That's past adrenaline. We're still in the adrenaline stage, the Candyman stage. We have not come down from the sugar high, nor should we. I'm not going to sit here and lie to the audience and say I predicted it. I didn't. I picked the Vikings to not even cover the spread.
You and me both.
And most people did, realistically. Let's be fair. But one of the things we did talk about Friday was there are times when one quarterback playing well or one team illogically outplaying a team that they're not supposed to be as better than can galvanize and make everything look better almost overnight. We talked about the Pat Riley mantra. I got mocked for bringing him up because people said, well, yeah, that's great. When Pat Riley said, sometimes in life you just got to plant your feet. Well, he could plant his feet with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper, and many other outstanding players for the Lakers. But the point remained the same, that if you're going to have any chance to turn this season into something different than where it felt like it was headed, even if it's illogical, even if you don't even know that you could repeat it if the two teams played again today, you got to do it. You have to find a way to do exactly that, and they planted their feet superbly. And the cruel part, of course, is, and actually this might have added to the sugar rush. It started out like, Detroit just went through us like butter.
Right. Fourth down, touchdown.
We were very haughty about, we want the ball second half. We're going to put our defense out there. Let's go. Let's go, Lions. Let's go. Let's
Sam
go,
Laporta just dicing us.
And on fourth down.
Yes.
Right? Because they don't care if it's 4th and 2. They don't even care if it's 4th and 5 once they've crossed the 50. Sometimes they don't. They may even be on their side of the 50. And you're going, well, here we go again. That's great. We're not going to be able to stop them. But we did. We stopped them more than often enough that it allowed the kid to live with, or the team to live with the kid showing some great highs, some, not so good middles where it was lower, and then obviously the late pass that will be part of the Vikings talking points today that I will submit to you, I think saved the rear end of the head coach. I
don't think that's hyperbolic at all.
I don't. I think
that's another talking point.
That the game, I think, how a lot of times we have. I didn't see the video. Did McCarthy get a game ball?
Yes.
Did he give out game balls?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes.
Was he handed the ball by the head coach?
I believe so, yeah.
Did the head coach say, "Thank you, kid, for saving my ass"?
I didn't hear that part.
Because that would have been impressive.
Yeah, I didn't hear that
That's probably too much to hope for. But an absolutely needed, masterful timely decision. All of the things that this team has not been for 60 minutes, largely, they were that team again.
The Fan and two men and a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks. It's our national cash contest, and the keyword, the first one of the week, is cash. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword cash.
Can you hit the break for me?
You can join Corey Cove this Friday. Willie McCoy's in Champlin for Coors Light Hockey Night. Drop by starting at 6 to catch Minnesota take on New York. Enjoy ice-cold Coors Light specials and play trivia for your chance to win great prizes, including sweet tickets to a game in January. Full details are at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
I'm not sure if I read this lyric from the Candyman. Tell me, once I do, that this doesn't define your average National Football League Sunday for fans all over America. Who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sorrow, and collect up all the cream? Hey, that's it. That's the league when it's going good for you. Now, again, and it even acknowledges in the Candyman, sometimes you got some sorrow, but what did we do? What did the Minnesota Vikings do yesterday in the Motor City? What did they do? They separated the sorrow.
They did.
And they collected up what? All the cream. All we did was win, dominate. Well, I mean, we won by 3. I guess I shouldn't go too crazy with it.
But the game was in their hands for much of it, right? After the first drive. They were in control of that thing for a really long time.
Well, especially defensively.
Yes. And the NFL is going to NFL. It's always going to come down to you have to either keep the ball or get the stop at the end, right?
Yeah,
that's the other thing about the NFL. No matter what happens, it always seems like one of the quarterbacks has the ball with 1, 2, 3 minutes left to win or extend or lose the game.
No doubt.
That's just what it does. It's amazing.
Chris writes, I love the Vikings game Sugar Rush, but to twist the theme a bit, who can take a sure win and put it in some doubt? Just because he can't run 3 bleeping times, that is, KOC can. No! We'll get to that. That is one of the talking points that we have in position today. We'll never know, right? I mean, we'll never know what happens if the Lions get the ball back. But I was screaming at the TV. Did you have any question in your mind that he was going to throw on third down? Because I kind of did. I thought, well, this would be a real wacky reversal if at the moment when he had, I think, no choice but to throw, that would be the one time he said, nope, you guys want me to run the ball? I'm going to run the ball again? And they're going to call another time, the whole bit.
Was it 3rd and 6?
I think it was 3rd and 6. 3rd and 5 or 6.
Yeah, because on the broken play, JJ ended up getting 4 yards, right?
Which was astonishing.
Yeah.
The second, that was one of 2 broken plays in the backfield where
I know.
Either he went the wrong way or the running back.
Not great alignment or collaboration there.
No, not to be confused with the fumble exchange at center.
Yeah, where it like smoked him in the shoulder pass, it looked like.
That didn't look good.
Yeah, I would have been extremely surprised if he ran it. The only run that would have made sense there was what Bursich is going to talk about in the play call, was that if it was JJ running it somehow, if it was giving him options.
Yeah, right. Roll him out and give him a choice.
Because honestly, I didn't love, if he was going to roll out, I would almost mandate that he has to run because base, balance, body work, and big balls, he can't throw on the run.
No, that's something.
When he was rolling out of yesterday, Brady was talking about it.
Yes.
Those were some of his worst throws. I know he had a touchdown where he kind of rolled out, but so I figured it was going to be, we're going to basically give him a couple of options here and let him sling it and see what happens. It was a hell of a throw, too. It was a Sam Cassell throw.
Well, let's get to it. I'm sure there's been endless conversation about it, but I've not heard it yet. It was the throw that I think did save KOC from being forever second guess. It was the 3rd down. You get the 1st down. The game is literally over, and Goff and the Lions have no chance for the miracle comeback.
And Campbell uses his penultimate timeout. And here is the newest, biggest 3rd down in JJ McCarthy's young career.
Yeah, and you would have to think that given this situation, they're going to get him out of the pocket, try to roll him out, and give him the ability to either throw the football or run it. But just move the chains one time here, kid.
A first down wins the game.
Yeah, you've had an amazing day. Just move the chains, kid. Let's go.
A first down wins the game for you, JJ McCarthy. Shotgun, 3rd and 5 from his own 28, 27-24 Minnesota. Detroit with 1 timeout remaining. Snap. 4-man rush. McCarthy throwing right. Naylor. And he caught it! Yes! At the 46-yard line.
Where's
That's
Bursich?
a 16-yard grab by Jalen Naylor. And all you Lions lovers here at Ford Field, where you can head home.
What an amazing throw by JJ McCarthy. We were almost joking about it. This is the biggest snap of your career. Just move the chains. And he throws a back shoulder fade to Jalen Redmond. That was an absolute, I'm sorry, not Jalen Redmond, but an absolute
Naylor
thing of beauty to Jalen Naylor. Holy cow.
McCarthy, victory formation, takes a knee.
There it is. I'm shocked that Bursich restrained himself. Eventually he got there. I mean, that's, I guess, professionalism. I figured we would get at least a yes from Pete as the catch is being confirmed. And by the way, you heard PA's hesitation. We all had it because the visibility wasn't great on the play, even on the camera, where it wasn't, I don't think, certain. I knew he was in position for it. I knew the ball was thrown in the right place, but I didn't know for sure that he came down with it until we saw the play again, or when obviously the referees said, that's a good catch. We can go home now.
The other part of the game, you're talking about the NFL part, has made, I was thinking about this at halftime because it was a really entertaining first half, right? It was a really fun back and forth, good plays. I thought both teams, obviously the defense was playing great and JJ was moving them down the field. There's nothing, I mean, I'm looking outside. There don't appear to be many clouds right now. You have a better view than me.
Almost none. There's a few now popping up west, but they're very wispy.
There's nothing that gives you a sunnier outlook, or the word Mace always talks about hope, than a young quarterback playing well.
Yeah.
Right? Like
well, that's it.
Everything just felt hopeful for the first time, really all season.
Yes.
Besides the fourth quarter of the Chicago game. And it's nice to have more of the team that you thought was going to be your team, with the defensive guys that were back, with both offensive linemen that were back. It feels like the team that you thought you were going to see for the first couple months of the season that they haven't really seen. Not that they're going to dominate a division game in Detroit and win, but just play better. This was the team we kind of thought they had going into the season, whatever you thought of JJ. But when the young quarterback's playing well and making good throws and Tom Brady's talking about how well, like that just adds so much hope to the entire equation, and there's nothing like hope.
No.
That's another thing that there's just nothing like.
It's somebody had texted this earlier. I probably should have started. It's the sugar rush is really, I guess you could say, double. There's two parts to it. One is in the short term, you say to yourself, their season's not over yet. They haven't won anything today, but they've opened the door today. Right?
Yes.
The door has been opened today. So that's part of the sugar rush. The other part of the sugar rush is what you say is you get a taste of this quarterback and what, his first game back after a dreadful performance and a bunch of time off. And he gives you, a mixed bag, right? Because he was not universally great from start to finish at all. In the middle of the game, it got a little dicey for them as they kind of upped the ante on the pressure.
Yeah, and we stopped running the ball for some reason.
We did, yes. We're going to get to that, too, in talking points. But I think, but there was enough. There were enough of those throws or enough of those plays where you go, okay, now I'm reminded why I endorsed the decision to move up in the draft to get him. That you saw at least a little bit, enough of that. So it's a combo platter. Sort of sugar rush for sure. Somebody is defending the honor of the remake of Willy Wonka.
Oh, okay.
I'll admit this. I don't even think it's fair. I have a built-in bias against
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. I can't stand watching Johnny Depp in anything, and I have such high respect for
Gene Wilder.
What Gene Wilder did. Just going, don't, Johnny, go do something stupid again. Don't even try this. But maybe I should give it another look. Maybe this is the week that I do exactly that, since we're talking so much about it. Adam Thielen is going to join us on the other side of a pause here. Ben Lieber, a little different time today, 5:02. And Johnny Athletic will file a live report from Brooklyn. He's continuing to track the Wolves. The ultimate trap game. Brooklyn is one of, I think, 2 teams that have yet to win a game in the NBA this season. They are winless, and we're going there. And you know what that often means. We'll see if Johnny has any of that same trepidation. We're out at 6, by the way, for, what is it, Vikings and programming? And
no, it's that Wolves game.
Oh, it is the Wolves game. It starts at 6. Yep. Yeah, good point. So that's why we're out early. Lots of good Vikings talking points. We'll come back with Adam Thielen, get his reaction to the big victory next. We'll get to some more Vikings talking points a bit later. Ben Lieber, as I said, will join at 5 today, and John Krasinski will join at about 5:30. Adam Thielen, kind enough to join us as he does every week via the Connecticut Water Systems hotline. Adam, we've talked about this on this show for years that, as you know, those of us in this business all have very haughty opinions and predictions that we throw out each and every week. And sometimes we're right and sometimes we're spectacularly wrong. But I have said the beauty of it, I think, for a player or coach is you guys always have the last word. No matter what's been said, no matter what's been analyzed, no matter what numbers have been crunched, in the end, you guys decide it, right? And I assume that's got to be what you bank on at a time like this, needing a victory as badly as you did in Detroit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's funny because you can look at on paper and all the experts can say, hey, this team's going to win. They're going to win by a lot, or this is why. And it all sounds great. But at the end of the day, you got to go show up and you got to execute and you got to win. You got to find a way to win. And I think that's why this sport is the best sport out there, because any given Sunday, any team can win and you only get so many opportunities. So you got to show up every single Sunday. But yeah, I think, with all that being said, I think the best part about that win on Sunday was Detroit played well. It wasn't like they didn't play well and gave us the game. I think it was just a well-executed game by both sides, and we were able to come out on top, which obviously is great, especially in the division and especially with our history with Detroit, especially the last few years.
That's very true. And, you've been around the game a long time. Generally, to win any game like that, a lot of things have to go well, and lots of parts of the team have to be successful. But to me, yesterday's game was a reminder that no matter how much time we spend on skill positions like yours and running back and quarterback, that it's what happens at the line of scrimmage, man, that so often sets the tone. And the line of scrimmage, you guys were a different team, right? They've been incredibly good running the ball. You guys have not been very good stopping the run, and the Gibbs was completely stymied, I thought. That changed everything for them a little bit. And then on the other side of it, I think the offensive line obviously gave McCarthy, your quarterback, enough time to get some things done and even some good runs as well.
Yeah, I mean, the line of scrimmage is so important. You can go into a season, you can go in, through training camp, and you can feel dang good about your team because of the skill positions or your secondary, things like that. But until those pads come on and it's for real, you don't really know what kind of team you have because those trenches are so important. You can't do a whole lot if you're getting sacked, or you can't do a whole lot on defense if you're letting them run the ball. And you see it across the league, right?
Yep.
The teams that can stop the run, the teams that can run the ball and run play action and do so many different things off of the run game, those are the teams that have success. And I think if you look at the Super Bowl winning teams over the last 10 years, or maybe over history, you'd probably say that most of those teams can stop the run and they can run the ball. So, yeah, that's a huge point. And I think every team goes into every week says, okay, what is it going to take to win this game? I think every single team in the entire league is saying we got to stop the run on defense and we got to run the ball on the offense. So it gets a little bit cliche saying, but I think that was important for us to win that game, was to be good on both ends.
Well, you mentioned go back to the Super Bowl a year ago, right? I mean, what was that story? The story was maybe the greatest quarterback of all time was tortured because at the line of scrimmage, Kansas City just could not handle the rush. So it makes mortal men out of even supermen quarterbacks, right? That happens again and again. And I thought, Goff has been unbelievable. I think he was his completion percentage going into the game was something like 75%. It's ridiculous. But I thought that you guys did a good job making him more uncomfortable than usual. He was short hopping some throws where it almost looked like I got to get rid of it or I can't follow through because I got the rush coming. And to me, that was another thing that was different after that, especially after that first drive. That not a lot of it was as easy for them as they have gotten against you guys. Really gotten against everybody because they're so good offensively.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because I think you look every week and you hear kind of, okay, what does it take to win this game from our defensive side of thing? And every week's so different because depending on the quarterback, right? Some quarterbacks are pocket guys. They want to get their 3-step drop. They want to get the ball out quick. Some guys they get their drop and they want to move around and they want to get outside of the pocket. And so it's interesting to hear those different points when you're here in the team meeting, when you're talking about what is it going to take to win this week as a defense. But I think, hearing that on whatever it was Wednesday and then seeing the defense executed on Sunday was really impressive because, like you said, being able to just get Jared, who's an unbelievable quarterback and has played lights out the last few years, really his whole career, and a guy that they were able to get out of his comfort zone and get off his spots where he's really, really, really dangerous when he's just sitting in that pocket and he's able to be on time and in rhythm and his perfect footwork. I think the defense just executed that part of what it takes to win very well and was a big part of winning that game.
No question about it. So obviously lots of talk about JJ. It's the return of JJ McCarthy. Finally, been out a long time. It only played 2 games, right? One, a very good finish in Chicago, and the second game it did not go well. So there are a lot of questions. Is it even fair to expect that he's going to come back in his first game and have to go to Detroit and be effective? Give me your observations as a veteran guy who's been around a lot of quarterbacks and gotten to know, I think, McCarthy pretty well. Give me your impressions of his performance yesterday. What stood out from you? Maybe even what you observed during the week and before the game in the locker room.
I'd even take it further. I think I take it back to the summer workouts, the last 2 summers I've had with them. A big reason why I want to be a part of this team is because there's just something different about him. It's not the way he throws the ball or how smart he is. It's not those things, a lot of NFL quarterbacks have, if not all of them. But there's something different about him. And I think it's that just competitive, just that tenacity, just that look in his eye, that energy that he brings is he's a gamer. Like those are the guys you want to be around, the guys that show up when the lights are big and they don't care what people think about them or how many yards they throw for or whatever. They just go out there and spin it and let it rip. And that's what you saw on Sunday, a guy that was just kind of playing free, playing with a little bit of edge to him. It was fun to be a part of. And really, again, I've seen that since the first day that I kind of threw with him, which is crazy because you probably wouldn't think that in a summer workout you'd kind of see those tangibles. But yeah, he just kind of has that energy and passion and competitiveness to him that is really fun to be a part of.
How does it, when you've talked about that before, working with him in the summer, how does it manifest itself? Is it something you can quantify, or is it just a feel as someone who's been around a lot of quarterbacks? Is it something he says? Is it something in his mannerism? What gets you to that place where you think, okay, this guy's got a chance because of something extra?
Yeah, I don't know if this is the right word, but maybe aura. Maybe like there's just like this, like feeling when you're around certain people, right? That just have this competitive tenacity to them, and energy, like this, like positive energy vibe to them that is contagious. And he's one of those guys. And it's not just quarterbacks, right? It's you just around certain people, you're like, yeah, this guy's got it. And there's no really way to explain that, and is why probably there's a lot of draft busts, and there's a lot of tough picks, and there's a lot of picks in the 5th, 6th, 7th undrafted rounds that go on to have long careers, because you just can't quantify that it factor. You can't really put a number on it or a rating on that. But some guys have it and some guys don't. So
you got the 3rd, and I think it was 6, where if you get the first down, the game is effectively over. If you don't, you're going to have to punt, and the Lions are going to have a chance to tie or maybe even win the game. Tell me what you saw on that play. It certainly looked like it was a terrific throw, good adjustment by the receiver as well, but exactly the kind of play you're looking for to get, to help him gain even more confidence, and obviously in this case to clinch the victory.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of sides to that play. I think what a great play call. Knowing that it's probably going to be some type of bump man coverage, and kind of give a little bit of distraction by the outside 2 receivers, and have Jalen Naylor at number 3 being able to kind of win his own matchup, but also have a little bit of distraction outside of that defender. Great play call, fantastic read by JJ, and phenomenal throw to be able to kind of put that on the outside pad for Jalen to go adjust, and really probably something that doesn't get talked about or won't get talked about, but an unbelievable play by Jalen to really close out the game. A guy who had 0 catches, I believe, before that, which I don't think people realize how difficult that is to just to come in like that and not have a lot of action throughout the game. And then the game's on the line, 3rd and 6, and you got to make a play, and you go and you execute perfectly, and you make the play to win the game. No one's going to talk about that play, but I think everyone in that locker room, coaches included, know how important that play was, and again how great of a play that was by him.
What was the feel in the locker room after the game?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a sigh of relief, right? I think in this game there's so much pressure, and there's so much, you put so much on yourself individually as a team, because you know how good you can be and you know how much work you put into it. And those wins just sometimes are just a little bit of a sigh of relief to say, okay, like we can do this, we can ride this wave of momentum, and we can build off this, right? The most important thing is we can build off it. We got a lot of season left. But we know that we can go into every game with the confidence that we can go win, because that's a great football team in a tough environment against a divisional opponent, which is a huge game. And we were able to play really well, complementary football, offense, defense, special teams, really all phases kind of playing together, that complementary football standard that's been set here in Minnesota. And exciting to see that. But I think JJ said it best, and I think the Vikings might have posted it after the game, but we can't let this be an emotional letdown the following week, because sometimes that tendency is to happen where you feel so good about a win, and there's so much riding on one game that the next week you're kind of emotionally drained and it doesn't go the way you want it. So you got to find a way to reboot, refocus, and kind of have that same energy that we had last week, where no one was talking about anything, no one was messing around. It was just straight business, because we knew the task at hand, and we got to have that pretty much week in and week out moving forward.
Well, what you're talking about, you see almost every week, right? Where you go, you'll get what looks to be an inexplicable outcome on the basis of what's happened the several weeks before then. I think it's part of why this league is so popular, because I think it keeps hope alive for lots of teams in that regard. You've played for so long. I guess I'll ask you the maybe unanswerable question. How do you explain? How can any of us explain the contrast in performance between what took place in L.A. against the Chargers and what happened on Sunday in Detroit?
Well, there's a lot of factors, and that's, again, like you said, why this game is so great. It's the greatest team game there is, because you got to have 11 guys doing their job on any given play to have success. and there's all the complementary aspect of you can't just have the offense play really well and the defense not play great, or vice versa, or special teams has a couple bad plays. That changes the entire landscape of the game. And momentum is so huge in this game, right? Like you can get just eaten alive by momentum, or you can ride the wave of momentum. And we've been on both sides of it, and we've seen how that works. But yeah, I say that all to say that there's a lot of factors that lead into the difference in performances. But I also think there's a little bit of there's a little bit of a wake up call too, right? When you have a loss the way we had, there's a little bit of everybody kind of saying, okay, what do I need to do better to help this team win? What is this position group or this position group? What do we need to do better, and what do we need to focus on, and what do we need to lock in on to help this team win? Because we don't put all this work and this just all the time and effort and energy into what we do to be able to go and put a performance like that. So I think it was a little bit of just kind of refocusing and a little wake up call, which led into a good turnaround. But again, we can't let that fade away just because we got one win. I'm curious how KOC was during the week, because again, most of the best coaches preach consistency. They don't want to necessarily show players completely different sides of themselves because they want consistency in the building. But occasionally, I would assume a coach maybe senses the desperation of the situation and goes about his business a different way. Did you sense anything different? You mentioned the Wednesday conversations. Was the message different? Was the approach different? Was there anything that said to you where you thought the coach was trying to convey, guys, we got to get this thing moving? Yeah, I think it was pretty clear. We had a couple extra days because of the Thursday game the week before. And I think it was pretty clear throughout the few team meetings that we had, maybe an extra team meeting than a normal week. And I think it was pretty clear how KO, how the team, how the leadership felt, and what needed to change very quickly. And so I think that was a very clear message and a reiterated message throughout the week and into the Saturday night team meeting before the game. I think it was a very clear message, and I think guys were very convicted by it, or they took it to heart and really just bought into it, and just gave everything they got. And we knew that just because we gave everything we got didn't mean we were going to win, but I think everyone could feel good coming out of that game if we just went into that week with just a really focused and really detailed week of preparation to give us the best chance to do that. Is it melodramatic to say that you guys saved your season yesterday? Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it definitely helped give us a lot of confidence of where we can go this year. Now, just because, again, every game in this league means so much that next week is just as big as last week. And I think you have to have that mindset every single week. It has to feel almost like your season's on the line, because it is. You look back at the end of these seasons, and this is my 13th year, and I think every season you look back and you say, man, that one game, right, or two games, sure, that's why we made the playoffs, or that one game, or there's these 2-3 plays that stick out in your head that are like, man, that's why we missed the playoffs. And so I think the more experience you have in that, you just realize, like, man, this week coming up is huge, because it's the only one we have, and we gotta be at our best to be able to win it and give us a chance to ultimately get into the dance and make a run there. Last question for you. I'm not going to, and I promise you I'm not going to ask this every week because the answer probably going to be the same. But, when I have you on, texters say, how is this for Adam not seeing that much action or not seeing the ball? And I think you knew your situation probably when you came here was going to be different than it was when you were here the first time. But you are a competitive guy, and you care. And I know you care about winning more than anything, but it's only human nature to want to be a part of it. So how are you dealing with that part of it? How are you processing that part of it? Is that getting harder as the season goes on? Is it, no, I know where I am. I know who I am. I'm okay with this. This is just part of the deal. Yeah, I think as a competitor, as a very confident person, I think there's a big part of you that knows what you can do and how you can impact and help a team win. But at the end of the day, those are things that I can't control, right? Mm-hmm. All I can control is my attitude, my effort. I can control what kind of teammate, what kind of leader I am through any circumstance. And I think that's been my focus, is just control what I can control, be at my best, really take care of my body, and try to be 100% healthy as much as I can every Sunday, and let it all play out. At the end of the day, we have a lot of great football players on this team. There's a ton of receivers in that receiver room that can make plays. And again, for me, I know that I have to be the best version of myself every single day, and that's who I'm going to be. And that's my focus. I
really appreciate the honest answer and the really good insight again today. And congratulations, and we'll talk next week. Thanks, Adam.
All right, thank you. Talk soon.
Appreciate you. Adam Thielen with, I think, some good stuff on the state of the team and what this last week was like. And, he states really, it's the obvious, but it's true. The door was opened by what the Vikings were able to do in Detroit when very few people, maybe outside of that locker room, expected that they were going to do it. Not, in my case, necessarily because I didn't think they were capable of it, but I wasn't sure they were capable of it right now, coming off of what they'd come off of and sort of where the team seemed to be, with still some significant health in question. But it's the age-old story. We talked about this with the Gophers after they beat Nebraska. Great win. But if you follow it up by what the Gophers did against Iowa, if the Vikings follow it up by laying an egg against Baltimore, it'll go away fast, because that's the way this league works. And the team, remember, we're now 500, right? 4-4. We already have lost one more game than we did a year ago. So
that's crazy.
The deal is you have to use the opportunity to try to build on something. And I think he was honest about saying, well, maybe it did give us a little confidence that we needed, where you almost need, you can talk about here's what we're capable of, here's what we can do, but you sort of have to do it at some point. And the fact that they did it in Detroit against a good team that I don't think was necessarily playing its best. He'd mentioned that he thought they didn't play badly. They played sporadically. We got a massive turnover, which will be one of the talking points as well, which is a great defensive play, by the way. But you even if you say all week and we know we're good and we're confident, you got to have something that you can, evidence that indeed that shows maybe you can take it somewhere. And that's exactly what took place in a very entertaining ball game as well. 27-24, was that the final?
That sounds right.
That sounds pretty close to me.
In fairness to the savagery of you,
yes.
Me included, when I said, well, we're happy for Pat Riley, but he has Magic Johnson to deal with.
Yeah.
KOC, in a way, if you hear everything that Brady and Burkhart were saying yesterday, and one of the sideline reporters, probably Rinaldi, and then stuff that he said after the game as well, when he basically said, Detroit thinks they're the tough team getting off the bus. We have to be the more physical team. That's right. Essentially...
It's a variation of the same theme.
It is, where we got to push them around a little bit. We can't get pushed around and expect to win this game.
You have to challenge them. You have to make them uncomfortable in a way that they're not usually. And that's what they did.
They did it.
The line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. So, I'm waiting for all the other people who are mocking me about the Pat Riley plant your feet thing.
So who's our Magic Johnson? Is it JJ? He's got a great smile, like Magic. He plays with joy. Talks about playing with joy, doesn't he?
Yeah, I guess he would have to be. Might be a bit of a PST nomination.
Do you have a JJ McCarthy cutout for your house yet for the holiday party, so we know that we've made it to the right spot?
It's just
like you used to with Magic.
It's just a matter of time. A lot of good texts are coming in. We'll get to some of those. Nacho is at 5, correct?
502.
Ben Lieber, 502. Johnny Athletic from Brooklyn, where the Wolves will be in action tonight, a game you can hear on the Fan beginning at 6. That's why we're out a half hour early. We got some good Vikings talking points to continue our Vikings-Lions conversation, and who knows what else. Stay tuned.